is one more apology video, which seems to have been recorded prior to the other one I showed. This is much shorter, and he definitely doesn't seem to be taking this very seriously, talking about how he's been cut off from the Jupiter bloodline due to his shameful actions.
It is with heavy heart that I am no longer part of the Jupiter bloodline. My father has disowned me. I only beg for your forgiveness, and I will seek whatever punishment comes after.
The only other videos on this channel were uploaded on the 6th of July, where he engages in his habit of making very silly threats to his haters, including a video where he says he'll drag and shout his enemies off of a cliff. For this next part, let's return to Siwa Moon. While a very minor player in the whole saga, Siwa is perhaps one of the only people who's been calling out Jupiter since before Linda went against him publicly. She would go on to make a stream on the 2nd of July, breaking down the most recent controversies regarding him, and using much of her time to psychoanalyze Jupiter based on the responses he gave to the question. Eventually, Siwa launched a second stream talking about Jupiter. Largely, this went over the things we've already covered, including the infamous apology. And other than explaining the recent drama, Siwa invites on a very special guest, Abby, the same girl Jupiter was claiming to be engaged to. And she gives a rather fascinating account of the kind of person Jupiter is. According to her, she and Jupiter first met when she was 14, with him being 18 at the time. Initially, they started off being just friends, but it quickly developed into a relationship. She claims they were boyfriend and girlfriend while she was 14, and that at the time of the interview, she was indeed his fiancée, with genuine plans to eventually marry him. Throughout the interview, Siwa reveals to Abby, and by extension the viewers, that he's actually supposed to be under constant supervision, because a court order deems him unfit to take care of himself. Abby is surprised by this, although she does confirm he lives in a group home, which contradicts his testimony, wherein he said he lived with his brother. At one point, she admits to physically meeting Jupiter in Melba during the 4th of July, going as far as to say he hurt her physically, something she had kept a secret practically up until the moment she said it on air. The interview is cut short by Abby suddenly disconnecting due to technical issues, and she's not brought on again for the rest of the stream, leaving us wondering what else could have been revealed by her. Interestingly, if you look at the comment section of this stream, you'll find a comment from someone who's claiming to be a part of this faux anonymous group that's been hunting down Jupiter. Going on to claim he's also the owner of the Jupiter Satire channel. He claims that his group of friends convinced Jupiter they were a tribunal of godly beings who were sentencing him for his crimes against children and threatening to remove his powers if he didn't confess. While there's no way to confirm this, given what we already know about Jupiter the hybrid, I'm ready to believe it. While Abby's stream didn't end up being too consequential, the 7th of July would end up being significant for a different reason. On that day, the Nampa Police Department released a statement on their Facebook page talking about executing a search warrant at his residence involving internet crimes against children. In a later video, Linda Pinda would claim that Jupiter had all of his social media and mobile devices seized, being kicked out of the place he lived and forced to live with his father. It's not clear what evidence she's drawing from, because I wasn't able to find an arrest record, but given that he stopped uploading so suddenly, it's definitely within the realm of possibility. Perhaps even worse for him, more clips will begin to come out, even further incriminating him. The same satire account will post a clip from the TikTok live stream, in which Jupiter states quite bluntly that his apologies were effectively worthless, and that he had only posted them in hopes of pleasing the masses. He scarcely seems to exhibit any of the shame from his apology videos, which definitely speaks to his motivation. Besides that, Linda Pinda would also release a teaser of the documentary she was producing about Jupiter, and in her announcement, she included a clip of Jupiter admitting on air that he wouldn't mind receiving naughty content from a 13-year-old.
Jupiter, can I still send you pictures of myself doing something weird? Because I'm only 13.
It's up to you, Stephen, if you want to. I'm fine. Do you plan on trying me in if I say yes?
No, I would never.
Of course, the couple of extra clips of him being outright heinous were only a precursor to the veritable smorgasbord of attention that Jupiter would receive throughout the rest of July. While he continued getting all kinds of attention on TikTok, likely unaware of any of it due to his blanket ban on electronics, the real difference came on YouTube, where his campaigns caught the attention of large YouTubers. The first video on the topic I could find was made by Subtrist Live. He goes over the same things we've already discussed. He also shows clips from another interview with Jupiter conducted by a TikToker named Illusion, who we've already shown. This interview has since been deleted, with the only traces of it being Reddit posts with clips from it. In it, he essentially explains the process of creating a voluptuous again, and talks to her about how she shouldn't swear, how he would like to move her soul into a human ghost, but since she's pretty, he hasn't been able to find one. The video ended up getting almost 100,000 views, but it would truly go mainstream later in July with a coverage from a YouTuber named Underglow. This video was a more thorough attack on Jupiter, using a whole plethora of clips and other evidence to prove his thesis that Jupiter is a predator. This video got 700,000 views, propelling the topic to the mainstream. It didn't take long for others like Sensitive Society to hop on the bandwagon. Outside of the YouTube sphere, Jupiter was ragged on by just about everybody, but the person in the forefront of all this was definitely Linda Pinda herself, who seemed to have made it her mission to take Jupiter down. After all, she was part of the reason he had been known by so many people. In late July, she began releasing updates on Jupiter's situation, including the fact that all of his devices were seized. She gave a brief recap of how she had met Jupiter and her whole relationship with him. She lamented her own role in propelling him to fame or infamy, arguing he may not have had the opportunity to engage with so many minors if she hadn't made him so popular. As bad as the month of July was for Jupiter's name, August would fan the flames even further as more evidence came out. Most of that was released by Linda herself, and while she didn't provide a source, many of the videos she showed on her TikTok speak for themselves. The first of these was a video from August. In it, she mentioned that Jupiter was still not apprehended, and she hopes he'll need proof of him behind bars. This proof is a video of Jupiter talking to who he believes to allegedly, supposedly be a 15-year-old, asking her if she wants to star in an adult video with him.
Have you ever thought about maybe becoming a porn star? Have you ever thought about that? I mean, what if you and I decided to make, if ever you and I got married and we decided to make our own videos with you, and we added up to different sites and they paid us a butt ton of money, would you consider doing it with me every time?
Context. This is someone that Jupiter found was from the ages of 14 and 15 years old. He knew what he was doing was wrong. He even says in times, the police can't do anything about it because they will imprison someone that has mental issues. So he knew what he was doing was wrong.
She would slowly continue to drip feed pieces of information on Jupiter. All this time, she continued to tease the documentary. Eventually, however, she released a bombshell when she announced she would interview Jupiter's actual sister when they were talking to Jupiter. As the anticipation for this video built, more and more people began releasing their own videos about Jupiter, with Underflow releasing update videos. The month of August will see the release of even more robust videos on the topic, with Smokey MCC chiming in with a half-hour in-depth takedown, in which his main focus were the Linda interviews. Despite new info being relatively scant, the issue remained extremely hot throughout all of August, with multiple content creators releasing videos, including another update from Underflow and another breakdown of the situation by I Wonder, who you guys may remember from the Illuminati situation. But the topic would cool down in the month of September as people stopped talking about it. However, as October rolled around, the content farm received another jolt of energy, as Linda's highly anticipated interview finally dropped on the 6th. In that interview, Linda addressed the sister as Kia, although whether that's just a pseudonym or her actual name is not clear. Here's the rough story of her and Jupiter growing up, according to Kia. Kia described their childhood as relatively normal for the first few years of them living together, with the exception of their older brother, Shane, abusing them. For those of you who weren't keeping up, Shane is the one currently sitting in Washington State Prison on abuse charges.
We had like a fairly okay childhood. I mean, yes, him and I have some abuse trauma. We have very similar trauma. I have a little bit more than he does. Our brother Junior, or Shane, as most people know him, he wasn't a very good brother.
According to Kia, she and Jupiter got along really well as kids, playing together and just spending a lot of time around one another. However, she noted that there was a marked change in their relationship around the time she was 11. Their foster mother began to treat Jupiter very differently compared to some of the other siblings in Jupiter's age range. In particular, she described how Jupiter would often be coddled by her, and whenever he did something wrong, she would simply blame it on his autism, claiming he isn't liable for the bad decisions